This podcast was created on the lands of the Ngunnawal people, the Wurundjeri people, and Ngāti Pawa. We acknowledge the contributions of Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander, and Maori people to making rugby league the greatest game of all.
You're listening to NRL Hellmouth, the podcast where we open up a portal to the rugby league realm to see what horrors and delights we can unearth. My name is Simon, and I'm feeling very relieved this week. The Storm are good again, the Raiders are bad again, and the Tigers are very bad. Nature is healing. Daniel and James, hello to you both.
Thanks, Beanies and Bucket Hats, coming to you from sunny Melbourne. Productive week this week. Oh, you know, at NRL Hellmouth, I think we're a little bit hard on NRL chairman Peter V'landys. So during the week, I imagined Peter sitting down with a jigsaw puzzle, and it really helped increase my empathy for the guy. Yeah. So I saw him sort of there with a coffee, maybe a dressing gown. I was sort of picturing a 1,500-piece puzzle, a field of flowers, a tractor in the foreground.
I think he's a landscape guy.
Yeah, and a lot of sky as well. So, you know...
He's a blue sky thinker.
Well, absolutely. But, you know, that really made me appreciate the challenges that face him on a day-to-day basis. So I appreciated that. And, yeah, I thought it was a really beneficial process. So, yeah, I recommend it. James, how about you?
Yeah, I'm good. I was happy to see a round of rugby league that had a few good games, a few shit games, and a few boring games, and that made me feel warm inside, where we're slowly moving towards normality. I don't think we require 18, 16 scorelines every game, every week. We do require at least a few close games. Blowouts can be fun if they're the exception to the rule, and that was good to see, and also good to have a bit of Monday night magic as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Coming up in the show today, we'll be proposing some TV spin-offs to include in the next rights deal, and Dan has a fascinating proposal about an enhanced version of rugby league. It's going to be a good one, so let's open it up and raise some hell.
There's the kickoff. Let the party begin.
I'd unreservedly apologise to everyone for my actions.
I didn't intend to disrespect anybody, and I definitely didn't do it on the car.
Well, I've been watching the seagulls, and not one of them is eating.
This is a horror movie. Rugby league. What else can this grand final provide?
To get stacked live on television.
Stop it, it's starting to hurt.
Well, as James highlighted there, after a couple of rounds of games with consistently sensible scores, had a few blowouts back last weekend. Had 4 games with a give up at 20 trigger. Now, for listeners who might be joining us for the first time this week, Give Up at 20 is an initiative we've been promoting for most of this largely shittified NRL season. Essentially, if your team gets 20 points behind, just stop watching because they're not coming back. Turn off the TV. Leave the stadium and do something else that isn't torturing yourself watching rugby league in 2026.
It's statistically very unlikely.
Statistically impossible.
4 times in the last 7 years.
I was very pleased I got to enjoy an additional 43 minutes of life when the Raiders got 20 behind just before halftime on a Friday night.
What did you get up to, Simon?
I finished reading the Noma Guide to Fermentation, which I got from the local library, and I just can't wait to get my microbe-covered fists into some homemade misos and soy sauces.
Can we see some ferments lining up in the merchandise range in the future with the beanies and bucket hats?
Miso's a long-term ferment, Dan. Might have to wait till the 2027 season before I can harvest that. And the koji's worked its magic, and I've constructed my fermentation chamber.
What's the soonest you can bring us a fermented vegetable, Simon?
Yeah.
Oh, look, I could bring you some kraut next week, except I'm away.
Action item. Action item, Simon, kraut next week.
Done.
Fantastic.
Very good.
Because I have come back with a report on car ranters for some George.
Oh, yes.
As advised. And I don't know if Daniel's actually done the research on gridiron jock straps. Okay, well, that's good.
I have.
Right.
I've got jock straps ready.
Do we want to go into those action items right now?
All right, I'll give you jock straps. Jock straps are basically, I think the best way of understanding them is it's a pair of underpants without the back panel. So you've got the front panel, which might be a bit narrower than we're used to in a classic pair of budgie smugglers. It's a pouch designed to lift and hold, but then instead of having the back panel as we are accustomed to, there's basically just 2 elastic straps that run from the bottom of the pouch to the sides of the hips. So instead of having a G-banger style arrangement, you've got the straps on either side. Now, I can tell you that the reason that they were used in the past is that there was a cup inserted for impact sports like NFL and the like. And so a protective cup was inserted. These days, however, I can tell you that the modern NFL players and collegiate players have transitioned to moisture-wicking compression shorts with built-in cup pockets. Compression garments offer similar support while reducing thigh chafing over four-quarter games. Now, despite this, many athletes, including former Eagles centre Jason Kelsey, continue to prefer the traditional jockstrap on game day for its specialised fit. So there you go.
Well.
Tick.
Fantastic. Why did we give you that action item again?
Oh, I can't even remember.
I think it was to do with the James Tedesco getting decked.
Yeah, we know. We just wanted to know what it would be. What it would be like.
Yeah.
Good point. A good philosophical point on all action items, though, Simon. Why do we provide them?
I hope we haven't alienated any first-time listeners before they even got engaged in the rugby league side of things.
Yeah.
So anyway, enough on jockstraps. James, did you want to talk car ranters?
Yeah, Jean-Claude Bittard, who's the probably the most famous car ranter, unfortunately did not rant in a car after the win.
What was the action item? What was the reason for this action item?
We just wanted to know how they were going after St George won that one game.
St George specific car ranters. They do seem to be the most rant-heavy fan base for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
so look, he was very happy. Colourful language that I can't repeat on our podcast because it doesn't align with our values. However, he was happy, and then within a week he was unhappy again, and I haven't seen it, but I can see he's back in a car now ranting. I think maybe ranting about the New South Wales team, I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, St George car ranters were over the moon with the win and did not rant in a car. So it's an action item we can tick off. I've completed the research.
In the air! In the air! In the air! Goal!
And of course, also last weekend we had the equal fifth biggest margin in first grade rugby league history. Penrith beating the Tigers 68-0. Bit scary. Are Penrith better than they've ever been, do you think?
Yeah, I guess it's the question, are the Panthers that good or are the Tigers just that bad?
We need to do the thing with the Panthers where their best players are removed. It's a pretty simple solution.
Yeah.
I don't think it's easier said than done, isn't it? But if we could just remove some of their best players, I think it makes for tighter scores. Okay.
That didn't stop them last time when they were playing the Warriors. They took the opportunity to rest some of them post-Origin, which they still have a chance to do following the Origin round.
Oh, that's
the
true.
Titans.
We can hope that, yes, they might rest those players again for the Titans and we might only get a 48-0 blowout.
Yeah, probably. Okay, here's the thing. You're allowed to play your best team on the grand final only or the preliminary final. Apart from that, nah.
It's oh, yes! Xavier Savage! Christian Bale starts with an X, and this bloke has more X factor than anyone in the game. What a try! What a 4-pointer! What feet this kid has!
So the NRL has its second openly gay male player. Of course, Kane Evans, the former Rooster, Warrior and Eel, publicly came out in an interview with Channel 9 on Monday. Kane is the only male player to come out since the great Ian Roberts more than 30 years ago, which might say a little bit about the lingering cultural issues within the game. Having said that, the response from the NRL community towards Kane's announcement seemed to have been overwhelmingly positive. Even the notorious shit Paul Kent had some kind words to say.
Oh, Grace.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, hopefully Kane's actions this week can move the needle a little bit towards an environment where players can feel safe and more comfortable about coming out if they want to.
Yeah, I think it certainly should. His coming out was not one that was just, I'm just going to post it on social media. It came with a very harrowing interview in which he exposed the fact that he had suicidal thoughts as a result of, maintaining that covered sense of self. And yeah, I think it hopefully has gone a long way. I wasn't around during, or it certainly wasn't in league, and social media wasn't a thing in Ian Roberts' time. So we don't really know how the world would have responded those days. But I feel like there's certainly a lot of support that I've seen around for Evans. And I also like the most common, I think, a negative response that you see out in social media are the people that jump on it's not even a big deal. This shouldn't even be part of the news. But my theory is that those people perhaps 10 years ago, certainly 20 years ago, their way to deal with their sort of sense of being challenged by this whole situation would be to have said something that was aggressively homophobic. But the fact that they're being shuffled back to just responding by saying, "What's news? Hey, I'm left-handed."
Yeah, I saw the left-handed guy, yeah.
Yeah, so all that stuff I think is a sign of progress, and the fact that enough people feel comfortable in even supporting Kane is a really good sign that the conversation is changing.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, I don't...
Guys, I'm left-handed too, so you might want to check your assumptions.
Sorry. We certainly do when we salute you with our right at the start of every episode.
It's bloody hard work, though, coming out in rugby league or rugby union or any male-dominated sport. Male sport, seemingly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bloody hard work. So it's unfortunate that it took him, obviously, a long time and a lot of personal struggle to be able to do it. And in an ideal world, the world of Hellmouth, if you will, you can be as gay as you want when you play rugby league and everybody loves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got 18, 16 scores and celebrate gay players. The two sort of main tenets of the Hellmouth rugby league world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the world we want.
Just be who they want to be.
And you can park your car and rant in it very close to the ground.
I love the Bears. I do. I love being a big bear. Big cuddly one, no. Not the big bear, the big cuddly one. There's a place for rugby league and there's a place for the Perth Bears.
Having said that, of course, there are some homophobic shit still in rugby league, one of which was also in the news this week, a human turd emoji in the form of Israel Folau. Now, just a reminder, Folau used to play for the Storm and Broncos before a largely unsuccessful AFL career with the Giants. He then played rugby union before he was sacked by Rugby Australia in 2019 after multiple Instagram posts implying that homosexuals will go to hell. He's now playing club rugby in Japan, but it apparently is looking to return to the NRL. There were reports of a train and trial deal with the West Tigers. I'm pretty sure those reports would have come directly from his manager to build up a bit of hype.
Yeah.
The Tigers have since said they're not interested, but it seems like Izzy wants back in. Now, the NRL has already blocked this alleged Christian's return once, shortly after he was sacked by Rugby Australia for those vile posts. But it's a different world in 2026, and Folau is probably only the second least popular entity named Israel nowadays. So,
good point.
Do you think anyone will want this shithead at their club?
Oh, it is. You're right. The appetite of the globe is a concern. I certainly hope not. It raises like such a fascinating situation where you've sort of got scripture that is being quoted, and it's hard to sort of say that someone should be denouncing the doctrines of their beliefs. But
controversially, I think it's bullshit. If you're claim to be a Christian and you hate gay people, then I think you're actually just shit at being a Christian,
right?
Because Jesus, I don't think he had much to say about gay people in the Bible, but he had a lot to say about love and compassion and tolerance.
Yeah.
So if you are not liking gay people on principle, then you're a shit Christian.
Well, yeah, but then I'm sure Israel would be talking about the Folau, that is, would be talking about the view that is taken by his particular church and by people that have sort of mentored him, that he would potentially be alienating by taking a opposing view, and that's what makes these kind of things so prickly, doesn't it?
Well, not really. Look, NRL Hellmouth, you might have judged by the name, we're not a particularly religious bunch, but if you're religious and you're using your faith as a way to guide your decisions in life, then that's great for you. Good on you. I wish I could be that way. But the second that you're using it to judge other people and tell other people what they can do, when those actions don't actually have any impact on you, then I think you're being a bad Christian.
Oh, it's a fascinating and chilling quandary,
and probably not really one for a rugby league podcast. To be fair,
this has been a fascinating discussion on the intersection of theology, philosophy, sports management, and rugby league. But I think, while that is a complex set to reconcile, the easy answer to the initial question is that teams don't want him, not because of his outspoken or spoken views on homosexuality, but that he's probably not good anymore.
Yeah,
because he's old. He hasn't played league for more than a decade. And why would you bother?
Yeah.
It's sad in a way because I would have liked to have had the likes of Politis, Gould, Valandis, Hooper, Kent, Anasta.
The new disciples.
Really digging into the theology and the nuance of what's presented through the lens of the return of the king.
Yeah.
So to speak.
This would be
I actually read on Reddit when this story came up, he had scored something like 76 tries before he was 20.
Wow, that's crazy.
And it is a shame that he then crossed over to the dark side. That is the PFL. What's it called? The LFP?
FLA.
Yeah, the FLA. And after he crossed over there, he went into a deep hole and hasn't really come out of it.
I wonder if he believes in sports science.
Great question.
Just food for thought.
But I think you might be right, James. He is 37 years old now, so a bit past it like all of us. He's getting older and inching closer to the time where he'll have to face judgment before the Lord.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think God is going to look him in the eye and say, Izzy, you're a kid.
Yeah. And Simon, I think you'll agree there's only been one person that's been 33 forever, and it ain't him.
And here's this bloke who wants to have a crack at the media. That's what we do. We critique and we scrutinise. We critique and we scrutinise. We critique.
Point his finger at me indirectly, I thought was weak as piss, just like his press conference was.
You would have seen, guys, this week or last week that Kieran Foran signed up permanently as the Seagulls coach for a few years, and they released a video this week on Instagram that listeners can see that provided a searing insight into the Foz ball experience. All of the players gave, and Cooper Johns, I should note, gave their best impersonation of Kieran Foran, which was along the lines of, hey son, all right, boys, hey son, or something like that, wasn't it? It was quite good.
Yeah, I'll play it in the background.
Okay.
I'll put the clip in the show notes as well.
He loves the word son.
So you get the idea.
Sweet.
It seems like he has a few strings to his bow. All of them are effective, which is referring to people as son and being relatively positive and asking somewhat benign questions of people. And that seems to work very well because since he came on, obviously Manly's been one of the probably top 3 sides in the whole competition. I think they're in the top 4 now. And I just wanted to contrast that to the angry, domineering style of Benji Marshall that was released via Tiger's social media earlier in the year, where he was basically being somewhat unkind to people, setting a standard that is impossible to meet, and also asking them to leave the room should they not commit to that standard. And at the time, I think we raised...
How did he word
he
that?
said the F word too many times. That's all I remember.
It was
most ungainly, and I wouldn't want my mentor to be talking to me in that way. Anyway, at the time I thought, and I should have said it on the show because then I got evidence, but basically, if you're like that to people, it does work at the start. And then people kind of get sick of it because they don't like being berated constantly.
Yeah, you feel like it does have a shelf
and then
life.
it falls away and you need to then pivot. And you can see now with Tiger's recent form, particularly in the last month, and we saw it last week, that yelling at people and telling them how shit they are potentially is not actually going to get the most out of them. So I think Benji might need to have a rethink and go back to using the Foz mode or the Wayne Bennett mode, which is saying nothing. Or even the Ricky Stewart mode, which has been very kind to the players and very mean to everybody else.
Yes.
The Benji mode of just being mean to them obviously has run its course.
What happens when things go sour at Foz Pines Park, as they were calling it last week? So say you have a slump in form. I suppose it is an easier ask to then ramp it up into something with a bit more intensity.
Son!
Or is it just, it's like... Yeah, there is. You can bring more nuance to that, but once you've dropped an F-bomb at the other end of the scale, it's hard to sort of... You just go deeper and deeper into the dark well.
Yeah. I think the next phase for Fozball is just to play.
Yeah, that's the good thing about it. It does let people just play their own...
Oh, no, I meant he just gets on the field because he's still fit enough and played last year. So you just get in and go, right, this is what I'm talking about. But it's during the game, and he's sort of coaching them during the game, maybe sitting in at doubling half and doing the odd kick.
That. Yeah.
That would actually be quite cool.
It was quite a carnival atmosphere down there last round. Of course, it was the first home game since the contract extension. And there was numerous billboards around. So 4 Pines, they named on a number of signs around the place Foz Pines Park. But of course, the surname is Foreign, so it's like, why don't you just go Foreign Pines Park? Anyway, I'll let that one go. But the other one that really rubbed me up the wrong way was that their major sponsor, KFC, went with the billboard that said, All Hail KFC, and it was one of these electronic ones so they could animate it. And so they changed All Hail KFC to then expand out to All Hail Kieran Foreign Coach, which, just, it's close, sort of grates a little bit.
I mean, and then they didn't have someone who's got half a brain to say it should be Kieran Foreign Chicken.
Yeah, that's right. They should be releasing some special edition herbs and spices that are just the way that Kieran likes it. Fantasy Valandis time. Now, before we go into this one, I just wanted to make a disclaimer that this is very much a cynical dystopian concept and a comment on the ever-deteriorating state of market-driven sports. That said, it might still take off. So I'll ask you guys this. Do you love your league, but you think the game's lost its edge?
Yes. I have a podcast about it. I speak about it every week.
Exactly. Do you remember when the game was tough, uncompromising, no holds barred, no beg your pardons?
Yeah.
Do you remember when games weren't decided by penalties for accidental high contact?
You're making me so angry, Dan, just thinking about it.
I present for your consideration the Enhanced League. Now, before I go into it, there are 3 potential phases, depending on how dark we want to go on the concept. So I'll start at phase 1. We launch a league where the threshold for high contact is lifted to the heavens. The hits are massive, and the concussions are an unfortunate part of the game and will be accompanied by this stadium sound effect.
That's amazing.
We will also allow... It's the oh no that gets me every time. We also allow a lot more biff and allow players ice hockey style to sort out their differences live on the field. Mano a mano, and the loser concedes a penalty, which is one of only a few ways that they can actually get a penalty because the refs are going to let things go like the old days.
This now, really is dystopian. This is like rollerball stuff.
Yeah, and you might be thinking, what about the players? The players are definitely aware of the risks. They are getting handsomely paid for their services and potential sacrifices, but obviously the carrot of playing in the world's biggest league is hard to refuse. And of course, they'll be setting their families up for, years to come, even if they won't be there to enjoy them. So there's phase 1. Now I'll go into phase 2 if you guys are happy for things to get a bit wicked.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've approved phase 1.
Great,
solve
fantastic.
the listeners. Let's go.
So team mascots are finally revealed in phase 2, probably about season 2 or 3. They're all announced to be different racial stereotypes, always trying to punch down wherever possible. Now, during the boring parts of the event schedule, these mascots are also expected to punch on, as are the team's cheerleaders, female only, thank you very much. The women's and men's bathrooms are at opposite ends of the ground, but men are allowed to piss anywhere they want. We have rounds like heterosexual round and men's round, and every game starts with an acknowledgement of so that's phase 2. It's getting ugly, but we'll push on with phase 3.
So phase 2 has not passed our governance gate yet.
No.
I thought you might be
there
thinking
will
that.
need to be feedback, and you could take it as an action item. But anyway, keep going because I'm interested. Because I thought phase 2 was terrible.
We'll put needs work next to that one.
I'm intrigued as to what phase 3 will be.
Phase 3, we're thinking about maybe about season 4. We hold a round like Magic Round. Maybe we'll call it Salvation Round. We get all the fans packed into the stadium at once, free tickets, and everyone is encouraged to either eat one another or masturbate themselves to death, or both. And then we back up cement trucks and we fill the whole stadium in, of course, making a packet on broadcast rights and also the kickbacks on tenders for the cement supply contracts. And just a second.
Nice. Yeah.
So what do you think?
Better. Phase 3 is better.
Well, phase 1, yes. Phase 3, yes. Phase 2 needs more work.
Great.
It needs to be, I would describe what you've got so far as extreme right-wing chaos, and we would probably be happier for it to be extreme left-wing, like the most annoying tenets of leftism, of which for many, we could probably approve that. But
and we'll just turn them up. All right, that's a very good idea. Maybe we could do that. That
would be great. Yeah. Perhaps I could host a fermentation workshop during the halftime break or something.
Well, I may have gotten a little bit carried away, so we'll take it 2 and maybe a half phases back. But do you think that there is an appetite for league where players accept the risks of brain injuries for heaps of cash and we get a game that we really love?
I think, Dan, if you read out the tenets of phase 1, if you just read that out straight, you can imagine that Vince McMahon meme and of his head getting more and more joyful and whatnot and finishing with the red eyes. That's basically how I was feeling when you read out that number 1. And I think many league fans over the age of 12 would feel the same way.
Yeah. I think the only way it could be, and this is where we could sort of see a bit of a global synergy, is if these were the tenets of R360, is that they tried to sort of market the sport as bringing players in to play a real version of the game where the hits are still hard and you don't sort of dumb down any of the real league of what we really love about the game. And of course, they would probably have the purse to bankroll it.
I think you've got to set it up in an atoll or somewhere in international waters that's basically the size of a rugby league ground. You can then get everybody to sign a range of waivers so that any injury is again dealt with within international waters and outside of place-based insurance. And I think you're onto a winner.
Oh, good.
I think, I mean, obviously anyone playing professional rugby league is taking a risk at the moment, even though they're trying to mitigate the damage of getting smacked in the head. But you're going to get smacked in the head at some stage. That's the nature of the game. Even if they start wearing helmets and pads, still going to be at risk of concussion. But then I think you have sports like UFC, which are another level up in violence, where people get literally punched in the head. And no doubt take the, accept the ramifications of that. And there seem to be no shortage of people wanting to compete in that sport. So there probably is people that would be willing to do it.
Yes.
Just an aside, Simon, we have to remain without pads and helmets, because imagine going to Las Vegas and going, we've got pads and helmets now. And then people would go, oh, wow, okay. The only interesting thing about it is the no pads, no helmets.
All right, well, we'll put that in the definitely maybe column. But yes, I think, the option is there for R360 to really pick that up and run with it.
Emre Gula has scored on American soil. Turkey's heritage. And a 4-pointer here.
So, of course, the NRL is currently in the thick of negotiations for the next broadcasting contract, with multiple free-to-air networks and streaming services desperate for a slice of the golden pie.
Ooh, they're saying, give me that league.
Yum.
These days, it's not enough to just stream the games and associated chat shows. A successful sports broadcaster needs to have a value-add strategy that includes producing a variety of spin-off shows. I mean, just look at the success of the F1 thanks to Drive to Survive on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I'd like to pitch a few NRL spin-off shows that any broadcasters bidding for the rights might like to include in their proposals to Peter V'landys.
Fantastic, Simon.
Number 1, DCI Vorton. Detective Chief Inspector Paul Vorton is a brilliant but troubled detective who doesn't mind sticking it to his superiors. Ably assisted by Sergeant Sterlo, Vorton uses his big brain to unravel grisly murders and force suspects to confess with a single head wobble. What do you reckon?
A green light. Don't need to see the pilot. Straight to series. Thank you.
Everyone that gets the concept, they would literally watch, I don't know, like 50 minutes of slop TV just to see that wobble pre-unravelling the crime.
Simon, can you just do the head wobble, please? This will do great for our socials. He's been doing this for 25 years, folks.
He was born with an extra joint in his in the top of his spine. It's incredible the way he rotates on that axis. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely
Next,
greenlit. Thank you.
6 and the City. 4 NRL 5/8 talk love, friendship and fashion in the Big Apple. Starring Daly Cherry Evans as the smart one, Blaze Talangi as the romantic one, Jerome Luai as the horny one, and Matt Burton as the shoe-loving fashionista.
Love it.
Imagine the mimosas.
Yeah, and they probably need some side characters that include referees and touch judges, just to keep things spicy and dynamic.
I like that. Next up, a reality show, Munster Chef. Australia's best home cooks compete in a series of culinary challenges as judged by Larrikin League personality Cameron Munster. Don't miss the finale as the contestants attempt to impress money with a pizza shapes and Great Northern Crockenbush.
So, excellent. And you've missed one important thing, which is that it is shot and hosted on location at the, let's say it all together,
the Porterhouse.
Yeah.
Money's famous group house from back in the day.
In Port Melbourne.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
yeah,
and they've got
absolutely.
rotating judges that come in, all who have the Porterhouse tattoo that we are aware that many of the players have. And then you've got a great shot of that when they come in.
Esteemed alumni.
Yep.
Just imagine that drone shot coming in and every week Money just going, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Next up, Kleinfeld. Referee Ashley Klein showcases his natural comedic talents in this show about nothing. The episode where he has a contest with 3 friends to see who can go the longest without calling a 6 again is considered a high point of the sitcom genre.
Amazing.
Aerobics Foz Style. Start your morning right as Sea Eagles super coach Kieran Foran leads you through a full-body aerobics workout to tone and tighten every muscle.
I mean, he's the hottest brand in NRL at the moment, so this one's definitely going to be greenlit, especially once you add a little bit of spandex to that.
Yeah.
God.
And obviously sponsored by Foreign Coach Chicken.
Right, next pitch. Gossip Gal. Rugby league enforcer Paul Gallen attends an elite private high school in the hyper-wealthy enclave of Manhattan's Upper East Side, where scandals, betrayals and secrets are regularly revealed.
Oof. And that one definitely needs Braithen Esther in it somehow, in a leather jacket, cruising at night time.
A few more. Hanging with Mr. Volandis. ARLC chairman Peter Volandis retires from corporate life to become a substitute teacher in a low socioeconomic area. Hilarity ensues as the street-smart Volandis clashes with his straight-laced principal while sharing a home with 2 gorgeous female roommates.
Oh, my God. That's conflicting.
Breaking Boyd. Warriors Tanner Boyd spirals from mild-mannered halfback to ruthless drug kingpin across 5 tense seasons of this critically acclaimed drama.
Well, I think it's especially good recovering from an ACL. The justification is there.
Oh, yeah. Got to pay those medical bills.
Yeah, it makes sense that he's going to be looking to make ends meet any way he can.
And my last one, Bellamy Towers. Coach Craig Bellamy runs a highly dysfunctional hotel in an English seaside town. Every episode is a classic as Bellamy's bad temper and poor decisions lead to slapstick chaos. Ricky Stewart puts in an exceptional supporting performance as the hapless waiter Manuel.
That is really good. I mean, his dialogue is pretty simple. Bellamy just goes from room to room, drops 3 F-bombs and then just turns and aggressively paces towards the door.
That's right.
And they set up a new scene.
Would Stick have to inhabit the ethnic stereotype of a bumbling Spaniard, Simon, in order to partake in the role?
Look, I think in 2026 that's probably not cool, so you might have to play it straight. But I think perhaps...
We can't bring the perm back?
I think perhaps we could just... change the classic line so Bellamy says, "Oh, I'm sorry, madam, he's from Queanbeyan," instead of from Barcelona.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, food
nice.
to thought, Channel 10.
This week in...
Beautiful. Thank you, Dan. And
You're welcome.
I will not ever say again that you have not treated my segments with care. A lot of people say a short round is a good round, and it is a relatively short round this week. Starting off on Thursday, Rapidos Broncos. Broncos need a win, and they have players not in their team. So we shall see if that makes a difference. Rapidos also need a win. They've been on the slide of late. Someone is going to improve markedly. Probably the match of the round, Dolphins 5th, Roosters 3rd. Origin affected, obviously, but two teams that are in form. I think Dolphins are on the up. Roosters lost to the Storm, but generally speaking, have been playing good. And then on Saturday, the early game, 5:30, another matchup with teams in the 8, Warriors versus Cronulla.
Yeah.
And that is in Auckland, so you would think that Warriors will be favourites for that, and we'll see how that plays out. But this is also the time of the season, perplexingly, in the last few years, where Warriors have gone from being a very solid top 4 team and then come back down into the pack. So we'll see if they suffer the same defeat at this stage. Whereas previously in past years, they would be using this time to improve their position based on not having as much Origin representation. But that is not the type of show that we are. We're a rugby league comedy show and a rugby league media accountability show.
We speculate on the speculation.
That's right. Eels and Raiders, 16th, 1st, 14th. Simon obviously indicated earlier that the Raiders aren't doing so well. They have a good opportunity to do better, Simon. So good luck up there in Sydney on Saturday night.
Thank you very much, James.
And West Tigers are being yelled at probably as we speak. As you listen to this, they are getting reamed by their coach. They're currently at 1-3. They got positively spanked last week, and they're up against the Titans, who are also 1-3, but will be buoyed
1-0 in the last game,
and playing some dynamic football. And they did come away with the 2 points on Queensland Day last week. And that's basically it. It's a shorter round, and everybody else is off getting ready for State of Origin.
I like the setup. You've got 2 games that would be blockbusters had they had their full contingents in, and they've got 3 games where every team there really needs to get a win. Tigers need it, the Eels need it, the Raiders need it, the Rabbitohs need it, the Broncos need it. There are going to be 3 fortunate winners and 3 teams that are going to go out of this round looking pretty down.
Be interesting to see if once again we have that Origin rub of the best players not playing, and if that makes for tighter games.
Yeah,
time will tell.
Well, there's at least some very good storylines.
He's the fastest man on the planet. He's the fastest man on the planet. He'd have got there, Rabbits. He'd have got there.
Alrighty, time to close up the Hellmouth for another week. Thanks as always for joining us. If you like this episode, please flick it on to somebody else who you think might enjoy it.
And drop us a line. You can contact us via email at hellmates@nrlhellmouth.com. We always love to hear from our listeners.
And now it's time for James's final thought.
Rugby league is a game for everybody. Whether you're a pseudo Christo-fascist multi-sport athlete, or a nice normal person that just wants to see rugby league like in the old days, with ethnic stereotypes and head highs and concrete being poured into a ground entombing thousands of people. You might be someone who prefers television and a jaunty red-headed detective and his adventures with his bald mate with a large nose. It's a broad old church, rugby league. And apart from Israel Folau, you're very welcome to join. Ave Fatty. Ave Sterlo. Have a good week.
Stop it, it's starting to hurt.
Tackling all the big issues.
Yeah, great to be in the culture wars again.
I mean, we're in over our heads.
I don't think we need to include all that theological debate if it doesn't work down, by the way. It's probably
but if
not,
you could
really
include the 33 Forever line down, that would be good.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
I
great
loved it.
deep
All that
cut.
stuff.
And God calling is you.
Yeah, sorry, of course. And every week Simon has to call someone. Okay?